The confetti is gone, but the events keep on going. We got a bunch of new events, big time rewards as well to kick off the never-ending 9-year anniversary. Keep in mind, just a quick PSA, that all of the discounts for unequipping and all of the gambling for cards and CTPs and stuff is over now, and you're gonna have to wait until, I guess, Black Friday to do that again. But in the meantime, we got a lot of really good stuff, starting off with the token event. So we had the Echo token event just end. We're, just jumping immediately into another token event. So back-to-back token events, and these are the very good tokens that you can see in the gift shop, give you access to a premium card, a random CTP, a mega tier 2 ticket, etc. So you want to be farming all of these. I believe you can farm 700 tokens over the course of the event. There's also some really good items you can farm from the event too. I'll show you that in a second. But the main reason why I want to highlight this token event, of course, I always advocate to get the P card. Even if you have a bunch of P cards, even if it's going to be another fodder card like Black Panther 35 or Unbelievable Gwenpool 17, it's always good to have more P cards for re-rolling and improving your Pierce or getting more Pierce, etc. But this is the first time, not the last time, but the first time that you can get Sentry's artifact from an artifact selector. So I do want to highlight that. They also put Hulk's artifact back in as well. I don't know why they did that. They didn't put that. They didn't do that for Thor, which is a little weird, but they did do it for Hulk. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know. But yes, Hulk's is there, so you could get Hulk's. I guess it's actually really weird. It also looks like, based on the positioning of Hulk's artifact, that it will be the last time you can select Hulk's artifact. Now, of course, you could have selected Hulk's artifact back in 2022, but for those of you that missed it and haven't gotten it since then, it is back. But I mainly want to highlight that Sentry's artifact is there. A lot of people are jumping on the Sentry hype train. Obviously, he's insane, #1 for PvP, so that's a biggie. This is probably one of the better artifact selectors we've seen lately because you have 4 big-time meta artifacts with Sentry, Silver Surfer, Gladiator, and Hulk. So big-time PvE artifacts, and then you have some really good support artifacts with both Ronin and Satana for PvE. And then you have Ebony Maw for PvP. So actually a lot of good stuff here. Even Echoes is not bad if you never got hers. Some really, really nice stuff there. Probably one of the strongest artifact selectors we've ever seen. So do not sleep on this event. But you also don't want to sleep on this event because look at this. A tier 3 advancement ticket. I think this is the first time they ever give away a free tier 3 ticket. They're also giving away some other really nice stuff like level 8 potential enhanced ticket, which works for characters going from 70 to 80, which is really nice. It saves you a bunch of tier 3 materials and a bunch of gold. You have an ISO 8 selector, which could save you 10-20 million gold. And then you have a bunch of these other one-time rewards, Titan records, selector, etc. So really, really nice stuff. Very, very generous, I gotta say, on the devs part. No tier 4 ticket, maybe next year, or tier 4 selector, but this is very good. This is very good. Keep in mind that the character needs to be gear 25, but this can work on any character that is native tier 1. So you will save all of the other materials, the 800 CCF, etc., that it takes, the 10 books especially, that it takes. So I would recommend, if you have a lot of characters in one particular typing, like you have a lot of Blast or a lot of Universals that you're trying to tier 3 quickly, I would recommend saving this ticket for one of them because it basically saves you the 10 books. And that's where the majority of the value comes in. That's just one event. There's way more because we have an extra login, a check-in event here with a extra Transcended Selector. So they're giving away an extra Transcended Selector along with the one they gave us at the beginning of the month. Mythic comic cards, some Awakening materials and stuff, but the Transcended Selector is nice. It's exactly the same as the Transcended Selector that we got a couple weeks ago. It has the same, I believe, 32 options. So you can just refer to my video where and this is the ranking here, where I ranked essentially the best characters. I'm not going to do like a long breakdown here. You can go and watch that video. I'll put a card up in the corner if you want a more detailed breakdown on who you should choose. But there is just one change that I need to make to this list. Here is Bishop. Because of X-Men 97, I think Bishop should be going here in future value. Again, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't make nearly as much of an appearance in X-Men 97 as Beast does. So I still would put him towards the rear here of this ranking. But I do think he deserves to be in future value rather than in C tier. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, otherwise the list is exactly the same. And of course, keep in mind for Angel and also to a lesser extent for Silk, if they don't have their seasonal uniforms, they're down here. Sorry, they're back here at the bottom of C tier. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But that's how the list ranks out. Just go pick up yourself Dr. Octopus or Spider-Gwen if you're new, and start building up those characters to you know, to the next that level 72 benchmark. The next thing I want to talk about is timeline survival. So we thought that they had killed timeline survival for some reason, but they just delayed it by 2 weeks because of, I'm just gonna skip this, because of the update. And so it was actually smart of them to delay it by 2 weeks. And the reason I say it was smart is because there were just so many things to do in the game for the past 2 weeks because of the anniversary with the bingo and all these events and all these sales, yada yada. So I think they realized the players would be overwhelmed, and that's actually really smart because honestly we probably would have been. So timeline survival is back. They didn't get rid of it, they didn't kill it, which is great. I'm not sure why. I probably should have watched that. Oh, I get it. I should have watched that little cutscene. I was like, why are Loki and Hela selected? But it's because they're Asgardians. That's why. And then it was the Warriors 3. I don't know why the other Asgardians aren't selected, like Thor and stuff. But hey, it is what it is. Just in general, just a quick tip for you guys. Transcended characters are really good for timeline survival because every single match they have their cooldowns ready to pop. So if you have any, you know, tier 4 or level 80 transcended characters, use them. Also, Dr. Voodoo and Man-Thing make a very potent 1-2 combo, especially with Dr. Voodoo's lead, because he amplifies all defense down, and you just one-shot packs of monsters. So I was actually testing out. This team works really well, sometimes faster than my full tier 4 team. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for a team to you know, quickly grind through timeline survival battles. And then remember, always select ultimate. Never select normal or beginner. You can't change it once you go in. People have made mistakes. They lose out on a bunch of rewards. Yeah. You definitely want to play timeline survival. It is fantastic. I actually wonder, are there any rewards? Can you grind cosmic energy through timeline survival? Because if you can, that would be a crazy, not loophole, but sort of like bonus. I don't think you can, but I will still check. I'm on my 4th reward here. I have to grind this out. I only have 373 energy, but I'll test to see if timeline survival does give you energy. And then I want to talk about really quickly, there's not a lot of sales. Basically, all the sales are gone, except for the 9-year growth mini relay. And it's actually pretty cute. So the first step is for 9 gold, and you get some tier 2 material. So obviously everyone's going to buy this. The second step is actually good as well. For $5.50 Canadian, you get 880 crystals. That is good. And that also goes towards your VIP if you're free to play or very low VIP. That's very, very good value. It's good, like dollar to crystal ratio. And then the third step is a little bit worse, but it's still not bad for newer players because of the tier 3 materials. The fourth step is not bad either. It's a pretty competitive amount of crystals, and you get tier 4 materials. And then, of course, the fifth step is great. You get a free Odin's Blessing selector, essentially for 9 crystals, right? And it does include the new Odin's Blessings. So that is quite nice if you're trying to hunt down, you know, lightning damage for Thor or Odin, cold chill for cold damage for Luna, fire damage for Jean or Ghost Rider, something like that. So yeah, I think this is a pretty solid relay. However, there is one more thing I want to talk about. I'm not going to go into full detail here in this video about this particular thing, but I do want to highlight it because as of right now, I haven't talked about it in a video. I've only talked about it on Discord, so that really doesn't hit like 90% of the audience and community here. And it's that there is another bingo that has been data mined. So a second bingo has hit the towers. And I just want to highlight the second bingo because if you have crystals and you're thinking of spending them, you should probably wait. So right now, the only way to figure out what's in the bingo is to go to thanosvibs.money/bingo rollin with no G. And instead of loading the original bingo, it loads this weird new bingo. And this weird new bingo is basically all about tier 4 materials, tier 4 and tier 3 materials. So you can see the rewards here are completely different. It's not a Mega Mythic uniform ticket. It's not whatever Odin's Blessing selector. It's tier 4 materials and tier 3 materials. But the logic is still the same. You want to complete 5 lines, and then you can unlock the reward and go to the next board. There are 5 boards this time instead of 6 boards, and the boards are cheaper because the items that you buy are cheaper as well. So I can't show you here because it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this around, but basically the items are a lot cheaper. You can see here that the most expensive item is 200 crystals, and in general you can buy items, you can basically ignore anything over 200 crystals, and so it makes the total cost of the board much cheaper. And then the rewards for each of the first 4 steps the rewards are tier 4 material bundles. So if you click on this, it says tier 4 growth material bundle number 1, and that gives you 350 life seed, 750 carbo, and 650 soul of the Faltine. I'll put up all of the rewards here on the screen in just a second. And basically the way that it breaks down is whenever this bingo shows up, I think it's just going to show up next week with the mid-month update with the, possibly Scarlet Witch tier 4. We believe, if my math is correct, right, this bingo should be obtainable. You should be able to complete the full bingo, all 5 boards, for 10,000 crystals. So that works out to 2,000 crystals per board, and the tier 4 reward chests get bigger every time you finish a board. And then when you finish the 5th board, you get a random brilliant CTP. Now, the random brilliant CTP is random. It's not a selector, which is worse, but it doesn't include the Transcendence or Patience CTPs. So it's 10 CTPs up for grabs, 10 brilliant CTPs. And if you actually go in game and you take a look at the 10 brilliant CTPs that are available, my bad. If you go and look here, you have, you have energy, you have authority, insight, energy, destruction, refinement, regeneration, rage, judgment, greed, and conquest. So those are the 10 that you have available to you. Half of them are good. There's basically a 50% chance, right? If there's 10 CTPs, there's a 50% chance that you pull either a conquest, a rage, a judgment, a greed, or an insight, right? All 5 of those are solid CTPs. And even then, the egg is not that bad, so that's like 6. So you have basically a better than 50% chance to get a pretty good CTP. Really, you're just trying to dodge the destruction, the energy, and maybe the destruction, the energy, the regen, and maybe also the authority. You're probably trying to dodge those 4, and then the other ones are good. And then even for like big time whales, there's still like a 1 in 5 chance that you get either a rage or a conquest, right? Because it's 10% each, and those the 2 best CTPs represent 20% chance. So 20% chance to get a Brilly Rage or a Brilly Conquest? Sign me. And that's for 10k crystals. Keep in mind, you get a random brilliant CTP, and you get all of the tier 4 materials that are on the screen, the total amounts, all of that for 10,000 crystals. And plus all the stuff that you buy in between when you're doing the bingo itself, right? Because the bingo itself has rewards like, for example, 400 energy. You purchase that for 200 gold. You get whatever. There's another one where you can purchase something you can purchase actual gold for crystals. There you go, 4 million gold for 200 crystals. So some of these purchases as well, I mean, obviously most of them are bad, like biometrics and a few feathers and stuff, but some of them are actually useful. This is a much higher amount than it should be because I'm just buying everything and not skipping stuff that costs less than 200, more than 200. But yeah, anyways, I'll do a full breakdown of the bingo when it's live. I don't want to hype you guys up too much for it or talk too much about it before it's live, because then if it doesn't come out for whatever reason, or if it comes out and it's drastically different, then people are going to be super confused. But yeah, keep it locked on the channel for all news Marvel Future Fight related. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.